Hey, you guys, welcome. Um, Mid-month check-in. We are halfway through this program. Oh, here's Casey now. Hey, we are partway through this program, and we did have a speaker lined up for tonight. She had another commitment come up at the last minute. She was going to talk with you all about recruiting, which y'all have already had a recruiting training, so it was just bonus material. But because she canceled kind of last minute on us, we decided that it was a really good chance to kind of check in with you all. We are halfway through the program. And so that just kind of, lined up pretty well. Casey, I'm going to throw it to you if you don't mind. I'm going to let you go ahead and...
Yes, I am so sorry, you guys. My internet crashed at about 5 of 8. So,
oh gosh, nobody told me.
I just panicked. I panicked. Yeah. Oh, you didn't realize it was you and Steve making
I didn't realize that I was talking like, yeah, I thought you would see me. Oh, well.
So I just wanted to, I don't know what Karen has shared with you guys so far, because I hopped on here in a tizzy, but I thought, so I know that we had a speaker who canceled. I heard her say that.
Yep.
And I thought that was an amazing opportunity for us, and probably something that we didn't write into the script, but is going to be a super blessing for us tonight. So I'm just happy that it happened. Sometimes life just happens in a way that you're just like, okay, well, this was meant to be. So I think tonight we just want to, I know the heart behind this is to just recognize that you guys have made it this far, right? Like, this really is an intense program that you didn't get here by accident. All the work that you've put in has gotten you to the point that you are now. And I want to take you a second to just remind you that in the first place, like way back when, at the beginning of the year, you were invited to be here by your leader because they saw great things in you, and you're proving those great things to be true by showing up every week, by doing the homework, by connecting with your accountability partners, by sharing all this awesome information with all of us that you're collaborating on. And we hope that you see the value in that collaboration, because we do. As a group, we do. Tonight, things didn't go right? Things aren't the way that they are planned. And because we have this collaboration between us SSDs, we're able to pull it together and say, okay, we're going to do this together. And it doesn't feel like a huge burden on anyone. So I hope that you see that. That's like a little glimpse behind the scenes, but I hope that you see that and you take that for what it's worth, and you carry out of this program relationships that allow you to do the same thing, because it's huge. It's huge. I had a couple of points I wanted to make. So I thought, we're just going to take a pause on learning. And one of the things that came to my mind as soon as we heard that someone wasn't going to be able to speak tonight, it just instantly came to mind that we give you guys so much information, and this opportunity to just pause and to digest this information, to process it, to celebrate our wins, and then to evaluate where you are, and to just help you. This is just a good opportunity to help you to finish strong. So I hope that you see that for what it is. We're going to take it easy information-wise tonight. And we realize that a little reprieve is important. And I'm just going to speak to myself and all of my fellow SSDs here. Like, a little reprieve is important. Like, we say all the time, rest is important, but I know for a fact that we don't always do that. And so I just hope that that this chance to breathe is a good lesson in the long run for everyone. So this week we're just going to breathe, we're going to share, and we're going to do community. Is Shelly here? I only have like a little view.
She is not here.
Okay.
Karen's going to take first.
But I can talk about that.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll just kind of give the recap. So we'll have 4 anonymous polls tonight. So tonight I'm just encouraging you to be super honest in your answers. No one's going to see who said what. We'll just get some percentages up on the screen. And I think that Zoom polls are pretty cool. So I think it'll be fun for everybody to just see that for those of you who haven't seen them. So just be really super honest in your answers. And then after each question, we are going to talk about that topic. There's going to be a score from 1 to 5, and we'll quantify what 1 is and what 5 is as we give you the questions. That'll make more sense in a little bit. And then after each question, we'll spend just a couple of minutes chatting about that topic. And this is where we want to hear from you. So we're going to ask you to unmute, and we're going to ask you to share. And I said we're going to do community, right? So doing community in a group this size takes a little bit of organization. So there's a couple of guidelines that we want you to keep in mind to keep it flowing and fun and fair. And so, Karen, do you want to share?
Yeah.
That?
So I think, so I'm going to throw up the poll in just a minute. Again, it's anonymous. And I actually came up with a 5th question that I may toss in there just to throw a little loop in things. But I will say this. Okay. When we do want you to be completely honest. Again, absolutely anonymous. Even the poll, the person that put the poll together cannot see who says what. So I promise you your answers are safe. That's number 1. Number 2, for the sake of keeping it a positive environment and keeping it flowing, we're going to ask that I don't sugarcoat. We're going to ask that it doesn't turn into a lot of whining and complaining. We focus on the positive and the good. And we're going to ask those of you who are rocking these different things, we're going to ask you to be, especially the ones to kind of step forward and share what's working for you. Also, so that everyone gets a chance, because we only have a few minutes per topic. We'll ask that you make your answer as concise as possible and give the floor to someone else to share as well. So I think that's kind of the general rules. I'm going to throw up the poll, and raise your hand if you haven't, like, on the screen, not actually, you don't have to do the little hand thing. Who's never done a Facebook poll before? Anyone? Is this new for any of you? Oh, it's so fun. Hold on. Okay. So I only want you to, it's going to give them all the questions at once. Okay, Casey.
Well, let's just do the first one. Or does we have to answer all?
That's a great question. You know what? I'll just start a new poll for each question. Just answer the first question.
Okay.
And then I'll create a new poll.
Karen, it won't let you submit if you don't answer all the questions.
Okay, then answer them all.
All right. Well, then we're
just gonna go with the flow on this.
I can't wait to see what number 5 is.
I will do just focus your answer on number 1, and I'm gonna put up a poll for each of them.
Okay.
I know 5's gonna be like, we didn't even talk about number 5.
Oh, I love it though. Oh, I don't see number 5. I only see 4.
It's not going to be on there. It's going to be a separate poll.
Okay.
It's going to be poll number 5. Okay.
Mm.
Keep going, you guys. Only 68% of you have answered.
Nobody gets out. So it popped up really good on my computer screen. Is it more difficult to do on a phone? I've only done these on a computer. Is it good?
No, I'm on my phone. And it worked perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easy on the phone. No problem.
How many people have answered now?
We need 8 more people. So how many of us are SSDs? Because we aren't going to answer, obviously. But I'm creating poll number 3 and 4 right now. So
Okay.
We'll give you guys 1 more minute.
I was able to answer 1 to 4.
I know, but we're just going to ignore the others because we want to deal with them as we get to them, and it's making you guys answer them.
Can I start talking?
Yeah.
Karen?
Here, let me show you. Only focus on
Okay.
number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 1, habit tracker. Okay, lots of middle of the roaders here.
Yep.
Okay, all right. And I think that's fair for a new, I'm going to close this as everybody sees it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. I think that is fair for something that's completely new and just been implemented. Does anybody have any great success stories with habit tracking or ways that you've used your habit tracker? There's 6%. So what have you done to make priority or make it easier to remember to do? Don't be scared.
Due to the habit tracker,
Yeah.
I set up a business page, which I did not have before. So that has made me post more on there, and I've actually gotten sales from a business page, whereas before I only had a VIP group.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So what do you think were they customers that you didn't have before that they found you on Facebook through the business page?
Yes, they were people who just never accepted my invite to my VIP group, but they were friends on my page who accepted my invite to my business page. So they were brand new customers.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Anyone else having any great success with it?
The networking thing has been super helpful. I've been able to book a lot more parties and parties off of parties by customer follow-up and kind of celebrating how much the host has been rewarded with, and then they kind of want to do the same thing. So that part has been very helpful for me, the customer follow-up and the talking to new people about since.
I think that's
Awesome, Jason.
huge. And I think if there's like one thing that you take out of all of this is that extra customer connection or people connection, people who eventually become your customers.
Anyone else want to share on the habit
I
tracker?
want to say, for me, the tracker sometimes could be, I have a love and hate relationship with the tracker. At the beginning, when I'm not reaching or I feel that I'm growing, then I got like frustrated. But now that I'm closer to my goal, I'm getting excited. And it's something that I think is a love and hate relationship. That's why sometimes I don't look my numbers because I know I will be low. But when I have been put in the work and I see how grow, then I got excited again. I don't know.
Well, that's the part where you have to like fall in love with the process, right? Like, I think we always look at those end results. Like you were saying, the love part, when you see like the good parts, when you're on the other end, then you celebrate. But I think if you can get this joy and the celebration of, I did that, right? Like I scheduled out all my posts for this week and just celebrate the crap out of that, because it's important. Like it's important work, and you can't just celebrate when you have 500 PRV or when you have 2000 PRV, or if you're some of these rock stars in here, 8,000 PRV. You have to celebrate those things that you do, like, because it matters. All of those little tiny things matter. The fact, I'm sorry, I lost the name that quick, but the fact that our first brave person who unmuted said that she has a business page and she's getting customers from that business page. That's a small, like that can seem like a small thing if you let it, but that's a huge celebration. You just expanded your market. Like people pay thousands of dollars for programs to help them to expand their market. And you do that on your own just by doing these small little steps, and they all add up. And that's the point of the habit tracker, is just to say, okay, well, I know I have to do a million things. So let me just put them in little tiny bites so I can cross them off. And then let's just add in the part where we celebrate the crap out of it, because it's a big freaking deal.
And is anyone else a list maker in this group? Because I'm a list maker. Do any of you list makers add things to your list that you've already done so that you can cross them off? Anyone ever do that? Yes.
Yeah.
So when you look at this
Yes.
habit tracker, right? you get a good view of what you've accomplishing, even if your PRV isn't where you want it to be, even if other things in the world aren't lining up yet, it's a good indicator that you are making forward progress, right? So don't forget that and use it. And if you do this consistently for 3 months, you really are setting a habit, right? And these are all behaviors that are going to help you grow your business. We didn't put things on there. And Kelly created this, and she didn't put anything on here that's fluff. It's all things that are going to help you grow your business. So if you do these things and you do them consistently and you build a habit of doing these things, there's no way your business isn't going to grow. So, all right. Are we ready for poll number 2?
Karen, I'm a list maker. I'm a list maker also. And I have proven to myself time and time again on days where I make those lists, I love crossing those things off and looking at it at the end of the day. Then when I have those days where I did not make a list, I feel like I'm so scattered and all over the place and trying to do 15 things at once. So I have to write it down. It really helps keep me focused.
Absolutely. Me too. And
I find myself adding stuff to the habit tracker. I'm sorry. I find myself adding things to the habit tracker that I need to get done for that week. So I remember to do them and then I can cross them off. So I'm adding stuff to the habit tracker also.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, so I can remember because it's all in one place then, right? So then I can remember to get it done that week.
That's like the ultimate list making. You're using the habit tracker and adding to it. That's so good. I'm so
And
proud.
you're building systems as you go, like,
Yes,
right? Like,
absolutely.
that systems is a big thing. If you're using that habit tracker, congratulations, you got yourself a system, bro. Right? Like, that's huge.
Yep.
And I just want to say, like, for those of you who just appreciate the silly things in life, I feel like there should be a habit tracker happy dance. Like every time you check something off, just take a second and do a dance. If I had a bra on, I would really show you a full live dance. But since we're just doing from here up, I'll just give you one of these. But I'm so we're just gonna go with a happy dance from here on up and celebrate it, right? Like, make yourself into a meme, celebrate with your teams, celebrate with your friends. Send a boomerang happy dance to your accountability partner. This doesn't have to be work. This can be fun. This business is a fun business. So just kind of keeping that in mind as you're going through all the things. I'm a 7 who works with a big old group of 8s. I don't know if you guys are Enneagrams, right? So I'm like amazed by these rock stars who can put their nose down and do all this work. And I'm like, hey guys, but let's not forget to dance. Like, I'm the girl who's in the corner, just reminding, like, it's okay to celebrate. Like, it's okay to breathe. Like, we're doing such good things. And I don't want you to forget that as you're going about your business.
I was going to add, like, one of the things that my sponsor told me, and I kind of use it for the trackers, even for like the daily tracker, with keeping like track of your numbers and what you're doing. It's like you're opening up for business, and you know where you're going for your business for that day and where your focus kind of needs to be. And so you kind of, that's your way of like opening up your storefront by checking those numbers. So that's the mind frame that I have with my trackers, is that I'm opening up my Cincy business for the day. And I know where I'm at, where my team's at, and what's going on. So that's just my frame of mind with that. Sorry, my pug's all over the place.
You're fine.
Kimber, I think that is awesome. I'm actually writing that down. You're open for business. And that I think is a fun word for us to just say, who's open for business today? Like, who's using their habit tracker? Just a good reminder for us as we finish out this last part of the program.
I love it.
Anybody have anything else to add on the habit tracker before we move on to poll question numero dos?
And even though you already answered it once, I brought it back as a new poll. So, so it'll just show question number 2. And I think, hold on, let's see. No, maybe not. Let's see if it'll give me the option. Let's see if it cooperates.
Melissa, you were the brave person who opened up first, and you just said that Kimber's really good at that, and she's always motivating to me. I love reading that. Wendy says she takes her binder to work every day, and she started strong, then just do things off of memory daily. So I think that's a good thing, but you have to
Never mind.
sometimes
Ignore
you have
that.
to refer back. That didn't work. Okay.
No, it's going to work right now, though. Go ahead.
Okay, let's do it. Lori says that her habit tracker is on her clipboard next to her desk, so she stares at it all the time. That's genius. Genius, genius, genius. I'm answering that question because I'm committed to this program.
Yeah, I take it with me every day. I felt my numbers daily at work. Like that's the first thing I do as soon as I get there. And then
Yeah.
at night when I get home is when I kind of go off memory of everything else to check in with the Facebook people, you know, do my follow-up. So it's just not a matter of checking them all off, but I do everything off of it.
That's awesome. And I think that it is whatever works for you, right?
Yeah.
Melissa says hundreds of post-it notes and takes them down as she completes them. I love that technique. I know a couple of gals here who do that. Oh,
Hey.
look at this crew.
Ooh,
Look
I
at
know
all that.
about that.
43% are fives.
That is awesome.
Y'all need to stand up and do a little happy dance as long as you have pants on. If you don't have pants on, you can just stay sitting down, though.
I think commitment to this program is huge.
Yes, it definitely is.
If you're gonna do it, baby. Does anybody have any
So I asked someone who's in the UK who is sleeping right now, because she's talked to me about it. She actually did this program before and has seen better results this time. And I asked her why, and I asked her this question, and she told me she would be a 5. I'm just going to tell her, tell y'all. Marie Murphy, she responded and wanted me to read this, so I hope it's okay. She says, I think the difference for me in the mix is a mix of a few things. One, the teen groups. It's been so good to network and work with other consultants all over the globe. My first group in particular, we still talk and share ideas. We set up a Facebook group and we still talk and share ideas now. We've had such great connection. It's just amazing. 2, I'm really focused on building my team at the moment. Whether that's because I'm now have a better mindset or even if I saw what was possible last year. So I'm continuing with it all this year too. And a lot of what I'm learning, I'm now sharing with my team and it's helping them also grow. And then 3rd, she said the systems that we are putting in place actually working too. And she loves this. So anyway, I just wanted to give hers because she did this program before and wasn't as committed. And I think part of it is being more committed. You're going to get better results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who else was a 5 that has something or wants to share, whether you're 5 or not? Anyone?
So I did the program before also. And although I felt bad taking someone's spot that may benefit for it, since I already went through it, I really wanted to do it again because for me, it was kind of like when you watch a movie the first time, you're like, oh, that's a great movie. And then when you watch it again, you get all the little bits that you missed. And that's kind of how I feel like I'm going through because, you know, the first time I was like, oh yeah, all the things. And now I can really sit down and focus on the, oh yeah, I really need to focus on this part for my business. So I still get all the things, but I can kind of get all the little pieces that I missed the first time around.
I love it. And you more than deserved your spot, Lori.
And Sarah, can you pass it back to Marie and just let her know that as soon as you mentioned her name, the chat filled out with love Marie. Marie's my favorite. Love her. Marie's amazing. So she's building herself a sweet little community.
Well, it's recorded, so she'll actually have input on this call since she doesn't normally. She just listens to the recording. It's only 2 a.m. Come on. No, just kidding. We'll let them sleep.
Fruit Loops are, but they're forever.
That's their name of their group, I heard. Yeah. I watched their thing, their video.
I am actually part of that group. It's a crazy story how we came up with it, but Marie did. Somebody said you're a Fruit Loop. Marie thought it was a crazy person. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I am also one that is participating in this program a second time. And the first time I saw huge success with it, but it wasn't something that I sustained. So I'm thankful that Karen suggested me to do this again. The first time we did this, we did not do the group projects. And I just want to say that that was a fabulous idea to implement those, because we are creating our tribe and our community, and we have people to bounce ideas off of, and it's just fabulous working with everybody.
Yes, and that is something that is really strong. Even us SSDs have really found that none of us are on the same team, but we have that collaboration that really helps us. And you know what, when one person's not doing well or is having a rough moment, the rest of us step in and help each other out and boost each other up. And it's really great to have that community, and it helps you be committed. I just wanted to say briefly, sorry if I'm taking up too much time, but for those of you that aren't as committed, stop finding excuses, stop procrastinating, and I believe stop self-doubt is something huge that holds me back from a lot of things. So one thing I wanted to say for all of you is you guys were all picked for this program because your SSD believed in you. You guys all are going to be amazing leaders, and I want you guys to believe in yourself. I know we talked about that a little bit before a few weeks ago with Becca Levi, but really believe in yourself. You guys are amazing leaders. Just believe in yourself is a huge, huge part of something you got to learn to really be committed and really grow. So I don't know if any of you have watched that or read the Be a Direct Selling Superstar, but there's a whole chapter on self-sabotage. And honestly, I feel like I have to read it often because I hold myself back from programs or doing the assignments or whatnot because I doubt myself. So I just want you guys to know that we believe in you, and you guys are going to be amazing directors. So believe in yourself. So.
Oh, I love a little tough love from Sarah.
Anyone else?
I know. I was just getting ready to say,
Sorry.
I've never heard Sarah give tough love.
I like it.
I do too.
I need to wake up to that every day. Can I get a recording?
You're funny. Anyone else want to share before we go on to the next poll on commitment and the growth you see when you are more committed? Silence. I shut them all up. I scared them all off.
Oh, good.
Anyway, we'll go to the next poll.
All right.
I love you guys.
All right, here we go. And I know you answered this once, but we didn't look at your answer, so answer it again.
And how fun are these polls, right? Like if you're doing Zoom parties, magic. Just think of all the ways you could use them. Team parties, team meetings, of course, but like customer wise.
All right, I'm lucky. I'm glad to say no one chose number one. Whew, I was a little worried about that.
A lot of fours. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
We'll take it.
It's pretty good. Definitely, definitely.
So who wants to brag about their accountability partners or their accountability partner skills? I know I've heard some great things. So
I have to say, like, my first accountability partners, I don't know if like all of you SSDs like got around a table and was like trying to match us up or pair us or how the heck you did it, but it was kind of like a weird thing how it happened because I've been going through a lot of like personal health issues, especially that's affecting my brain function. And the person who paired me up was going through something exactly similar. And it was so good to know that, like, especially in this business, when I can't think or I can't talk and I'm like struggling, I have somebody else that I can go to. And I know that no matter what, I'm not in this alone. So like my first accountability partner was the life I needed when I was second guessing, like, am I really going to be good enough to be a leader and stuff? Because I'm struggling with whatever's going on with my health, with my brain and my function. Like, am I going to be able to give all of me? And between my first accountability partner and then another person that's in this group, like I've really learned to be, I'm learning to be my authentic self through all of that, which is one of our core values. So for me, that's been a blessing. So whatever mojo you guys got going on when you're selecting these, your first round was like right on target.
Yeah, that was Shelly. She's amazing. I think she took DNA from everyone and paired them up accordingly. I love that, friend. I love that so much.
I think the total randomness has been great because the first one was just kind of spotty and we both kind of connected really great. And then the second one was Lindsay Evans, and she held me accountable, man. It was great. It re-sparked my fire, which was something that I really needed. And I think just kind of finding that connection with the next round was a little more challenging for myself as well. So it goes both ways. It's not just a one-way street. So that's something that we all have to remember. Look at the poll again. You see the first, but then you see those threes and those twos, and it's like, okay, but I marked a 4 because I was like, okay, this is not just a one-way street. Like, hey, I reached out a couple times. Okay, she's busy. She might be going through something, or, but I love the accountability part because it did spark some fire in me again. So, okay, I'm going off mute now.
Thank you. I think that's true. I think that there was magic in that. I wasn't involved in that decision to switch accountability partners, but I think that makes a huge difference.
Well, and if we kept you with the same partner for 3 months, there would be no accountability. You might be best friends at the end, but there would be no accountability because it'd be like, hey, Lori, I didn't get anything done this week. That's cool. It's okay. You had a rough week. You know what? You can do something in July. It's all good. Yeah. I mean, there would be no accountability, right? So the switching it up, not only does it help you make more connections, it also helps you deal with a lot of different types of personalities, which as you grow as a leader, that is super important. You're not going to love everyone in your downline. They're not all going to love you. That's okay. You don't have to. You can still lead. And so it's a multifaceted lesson with these accountability partners. It's there's more than meets the eye. So.
And I just wanted to go back to Kimber and just say, like, thanks for being real, sis.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's some good stuff. And it makes me happy to hear that you can be authentically you and that you're learning how to do that, because that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
sorry, can I
go
just say
ahead,
something?
Wendy.
That's okay.
No.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Unfortunately, my first accountability partner wasn't the greatest. It was I was reaching out and getting no response. But honestly, when it came down to it, our team made it accountability for each other. So even though we didn't have, and there was several of us in the team that had the same issue, we then made the team the part of the accountability.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't just one person, it was, there were 6 or 7 of us in the group that was accountable for each other, and we were bouncing things. So it really, even though the accountability partner didn't work, the group did.
And good for you guys for not letting that be an excuse, for finding an alternative and getting it done anyway. Like, that's what this business is about. It's about resiliency. It's about seeing a different way when there's a roadblock. So that's pretty awesome.
All right. Can we go to question number 4, which is really my bonus question? Hold on. And Wendy, your comment was a perfect lead into this.
Thanks, Wendy. So Team Fruit Loop is just getting all kinds of shout out. I'm excited to see who makes it to director first and steals that as their team name.
Ooh, yeah. I bet we ought to go look at the list. I have a funny feeling that's not taken. Like, would the next one choose to be like Captain Crunch or like would
Raisin Bran?
All right, let's see. We're pretty close. And thankfully no one chose number 1.
Okay. It's kind of spot on with the accountability partners.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So I want to address this one since I added it as a bonus question. We didn't do the small groups the first time around. We had intended to, but it just didn't work. And because it was a fall selling season for one thing, and there was just, it was a fall selling season. Let's leave it there. But we wanted to add it this time. It's really an important component of the group. I want to make sure, and obviously it's working really well for some of you, right? Some of you are loving it, maybe even your favorite part of the program. Some of you are not maybe loving it as much. Just to clarify, because I know there is still some confusion over it, this is not a part of the program that should take all your time every day, every week, all month long. You can do this in very, very short windows of time. You can have just meet just a few times. And it also is a chance to work with varying, I'm trying to figure out how to say it nicely. It's a good opportunity to mesh styles with various personalities. Let's just put it that way, right? So you all have to kind of work together and find ways to do that. And that goes hand in hand with leadership as well, right? Those of us that collaborate together every day, every week, all the time, we are all very different personalities. And we put each other in our place when we need to be. We lift each other up when we need to be. But the bottom line is, and we have Aspen, who's not on tonight because she's spending her spring break with her family, but she keeps us in line and keeps us focused on what we need to do. And so some in your groups, you might need someone who does that as well, who says, okay, that's enough, shut it down. We're back to the topic. Let's move on, right? But I hope that you guys are getting something from the small groups. And if you're not, then you guys should take a look at why you're not and maybe kind of rethink them. That's all I got on that. We know Team Fruit Loop is loving their small group. Okay. Are the frog? I don't. Okay, I won't even go there. I just won't. Let's go to question number 5, shall we?
Muted. I'm totally talking and I was muted. As far as the groups go, the first one they were smaller, and the second one, I feel like we have a ton of people in it. Is that going to be like the standard now? Because I feel like there's so many people that it's hard to get like a good time for everybody to talk at the same time.
Oh my gosh, what happens when you're growing as a leader and your team gets larger? You have more people.
Karen, stop it.
And then guess what? The time never works for everybody. I love you, Jill.
No,
She's
you
fine,
don't.
I can say that. You know what? You're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with the next small group. They're all gonna be different. But that's intentional because that's what comes with leadership, right? So sometimes you got to work with a small group.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Point is proven.
Okay.
I know that with our last small group, we had so much, so many of them that didn't participate. We have more participating in this larger group. So you can't go by the groups.
Yeah. And I think that each different way of doing things gives you a different skill. And I think that's what Karen was trying to say. So I know, like, I heard from a few people, like, we don't want to leave our group because we love them, but there's just a time, like, you're just going to learn all these amazing skills from all these different people, whether good or bad, right? Like, so I think just when you're in a group that's 10 people, just be like, okay, this is how you work a group of 10. And when you're a group of 20 people, you're like, oh, okay, This is how you work in a group of 20. And so, a bilingual group. Yeah, that's another hurdle. Kimber put in the chat, like a bilingual group. That's another hurdle that you're going to come up against as a leader. And these are all things that you get a safe place to launch, right? We're depending on you because you're in our group, but your paycheck isn't depending on this. So this is just an opportunity to grow these skills in a safe place that doesn't have a direct effect on your business. I mean, it affects your business and it helps you grow, but it doesn't have a direct effect.
I think I scared Jill off.
No.
She's one of mine.
wanna
I
say
feel
we-
like I could do that.
we got-
but
you
let
got
me
people in
play
different-
devil's advocate here. What happens if you have 3 in your group? Jill, did I scare you off? You're totally muted.
I know. I just did it again. I'm still here. I was just reading all the comments that went along with what I said as well. So, to be clear, I was not complaining.
No, I know you weren't. I know you weren't.
Question. I know, you know, but I'm just saying. I was just a question. I was just wondering how they were going to go going forward. I'm not complaining about my group or anything like that.
There's a method to our madness for everything we do. Sometimes we don't even know it until afterwards, but there was a method. But let me play devil's advocate. So what if next time you have a group of 2 or 3 people and you're the only one who participates, right? There's pros and cons to all of them. So, all right, let's do question number 5. This is our final question because I know we're pretty late on time. I feel like we ought to have like some Jeopardy music or something
I know.
in the background.
I know. And I have Jeopardy music saved to my phone. I should have been better prepared.
All right, close enough. We'll call it. Again, pretty good. Lots of 4s.
No 2s or 1s. That's
I
good.
know.
I'm actually surprised to see so many 5s. Like, you've implemented all the things. There's been a lot of things. Are you breathing? Right? Like,
I think
there's been a lot.
I mean, I can say that I'm implementing everything. It's at different levels though. I mean, there's some things that I'm full force on and there's other things that are just kind of trickled in. But I mean, being able to take in new ideas and even old ideas with a new spin, sometimes it just clicks. And being an educator, you know how sometimes it just takes the same things being explained a different way for it to turn the light bulb on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%.
For me, we've had so much information. Well, for me personally, I've had so much information that's been given to me that I never even thought to implement in my business. So I have a notebook of notes that I've been taking every week. I have, of course, my binder, and it just seems like even when I have these notes right in front of me, there's something new that I didn't grasp maybe the last time I looked at my notes. So I feel like every time I do that, there's something else I can do to either work with my team I have now, to talk to my customers about, or to talk to other consultants, you know, just to kind of get their feedback and everything. And I feel like that has been, I gave myself a 4 because I feel like, no, I haven't implemented everything yet, but I feel like that is the path in which I'm going to do. So I hope that I'm able to gather all this knowledge. So when I have a teamie come to me and say, hey, I need help, that I can do it, and I can do it confidently and effectively, so they can take that and learn and build their own team as well.
I love that. I think that's a great way to like kind of wrap it all up, right? Like, even if it's not something that you're actually doing now, you have the notes, you have the skills to be able to do it when the time comes. And I hope that you got my message when I said, are you breathing? Like, you don't have to do all the things. We're not asking you to do all the things, but I've loved, like, after each call each week, I get to hear, I heard this one little thing that I'm going to implement. I'm going to change my vocabulary when I talk to people about joining my team, that when Rachel talked to us, like, I have 2 options for you. And just that one little thing can change the whole trajectory of your business. So each week you should be hearing something that changes the way that you do things, because if you're not growing, then you're dying, right? And so, like, this is an opportunity for you to grow the biggest tree in the whole garden, right? Like, you can grow your branches out and reach out to so many people and do so many great things. All right. So I think we are, like, well over time. So we'll probably just get it wrapped up. So Sonia, do you want to close us out?
Oh my gosh. Like, my wheels are spinning. So much good stuff that since we're over time, I'll try to make it quick. So the first thing I want to say is, like, Becky, you hit the nail on the head when you're talking about, you can hear something so many times, but you can hear, and then it, like, clicks for you. If I can give you guys any advice as a leader, when you earn that official title of director, if you haven't already, please don't think that you can do this all by yourself. I have seen directors take on that my team mentality, and they become very stagnant, thinking that they can do it all. They become very overwhelmed, burnt out. Lean on each other, lean on other leaders. If you take on that my team mentality, you will only hurt yourself and your team. So you guys, there is power in this group. Like, oh my gosh, my mind is blown tonight. There is power in these relationships that you guys have built. How excited are you guys to see each other at the first Cincy event we get to go to, right? So, you know, carry on with these relationships that you guys have built, and lean on each other. I love that you guys have that habit tracker. One of the things that I see with leaders is they are like, oh, so much time, I'm so busy, but there's a lot of fluff. Okay. In that habit tracker, you have income producing activities streamlined. That is what you need. Cut the fluff and teach your downline to do the same. Okay. Kirsten, I heard you talking about, you know, feeling overwhelmed with your full-time job in this. I get it. I have been there. Use that habit tracker and those income producing activities. What else? The Slight Edge. If you guys haven't read The Slight Edge, Karen, I think you recommended that book to me years ago. An amazing, amazing book on why some people are more successful than others, because they just do a little bit extra. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. The other thing I wanted to say is just keep in mind that this is a business of sales, 50% sales to your customers, and 50% offering the opportunity to people for different reasons. People join for different reasons. Keep that in mind. They're joining not only to make money, they're joining for connection, they're joining for self-development, they're joining for community, they're joining for flexibility. So keep all those things in mind, and just remember that it's our job to offer that opportunity to them and let them decide. And really, if we're not offering them that opportunity, then we're not doing our job. It's our job to offer and let them decide. And in a nutshell, you guys, I think that's it. And I'm seriously blown away. You know, of all the programs that I've ever run with my team or with my leaders, this is the one that I've got the most positive feedback with. And I love it. And I'm so glad that you guys all got to be a part of this.
Love you guys. Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Good night.